Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating real-world story about something I know so many of us struggle with. We're talking about that absolute mountain of manual, repetitive work that just stares you down every single week. You know exactly what I mean, right? That endless copy-paste nightmare that kind of makes you question all your life choices. Look, we've all heard the nonstop hype about AI taking over complex tasks, but actually making that leap in the real world with your actual job, well, that can feel genuinely daunting. So today, we're looking at a brilliant case study of a seasoned professional who was honestly incredibly reluctant to use AI. But she ultimately found a way to automate massive parts of her job totally safely without losing even an ounce of control. Let's unpack exactly how she pulled this off.
Okay, let's dive into this. Notice the word highlighted in her initial reaction, safe. That was her absolute baseline condition when the topic of automation even came up. She was curious, sure, and she was willing to explore AI, but only if it was really safe. And honestly, isn't that the crux of it all? Trust is the ultimate barrier to adopting any new technology. It's not just about whether the AI is smart enough, it's about whether we can trust it with our professional reputation. When you're deeply accustomed to doing things a certain way and making absolutely sure it's accurate yourself, handing over the reins feels like a massive leap into the dark. Her hesitation wasn't a lack of vision, not at all. It was a firm demand for security.
Section 1. The Reluctant Professional, a marine industry case study. So, our protagonist here is a seasoned 50-year-old professional working in the marine industry, and she was completely burdened by this grueling, super time-consuming part of her job, producing these highly detailed market intelligence reports. We're talking about weekly updates and then these massive, comprehensive 6-monthly reviews. On the left side of this equation, you can see her daily reality, searching, translating from her native language into English, formatting, just endless actions that drain hours of high-value cognitive energy on low-value, repetitive execution. It's literally the exact same long, boring procedure every single time. But then, look at the right side. The AI risk. Her fear of the unknown and the very real, totally valid anxiety of giving up control to an automated system. You simply cannot plug an unverified AI into a critical business workflow and just blindly hope for the best. She desperately needed a safe bridge between the crushing weight of that manual work and the perceived chaos of artificial intelligence. Section 2. Building a safe sandbox containing the AI. And this brilliantly illustrates the major breakthrough in this case study. They realized that the solution isn't to just give the AI the keys to the kingdom. You don't have to connect it to your entire company network, your primary inbox, or your proprietary databases on day one. Instead, they used a sandbox strategy. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means creating a contained, completely observable environment. They set up a brand new, dedicated Gmail account and a separate Google Drive created specifically and only for the AI to use. It is physically and digitally separated from all of her other sensitive work environments. And here's the genius of how she uses it. As she goes about her week, she simply forwards relevant emails to this dedicated address. Nothing confidential, nothing irreplaceable ever goes in here. It's just a secure Dropbox for the raw materials the AI is eventually going to need. Section 3. The Midnight AI Routine. Automation while you sleep. So once that safe, isolated environment was built, she needed the AI to actually do the heavy lifting, but entirely on her terms. She used an AI tool called Claude and scheduled it to run completely autonomously. And the best part? It runs every Sunday night while she sleeps. It's not some mysterious black box. It's a transparent, step-by-step sequence. Step 1, the AI routine opens that dedicated Gmail account and reviews those non-sensitive emails she forwarded throughout the week. Step 2, it intelligently selects the useful information. Step 3, it actively searches the web for any additional context needed for the marine industry reports. Step 4, it translates the text into English and compiles the whole thing into a perfectly formatted Word document. And finally, Step 5, it saves that document to the dedicated Google Drive and pings her a notification. It's a completely predictable, totally transparent recipe. And because of the transparency, she reviews, she tweaks the routine, she learns, and most importantly, she stays in control. Because this workflow is tightly bounded and every single step is visible, she remains the ultimate supervisor. When she wakes up on Monday morning, she isn't just blindly trusting the AI to publish a report for her. No way. She opens the generated document, reviews the work, and if it missed a slight nuance, she goes back and tweaks the AI routine's instructions. By doing this, she is safely building her own AI literacy. She's literally learning exactly how the system thinks and operates 1 week at a time. Section 4. Days reduced to minutes. The transformation. Okay, so we've explored the safe sandbox setup and the smart sequential midnight routine. Now, we absolutely have to talk about the payoff. When you remove the fear through a sandbox setup, the efficiency gains are just staggering. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the contrast in the data. For the weekly reports, what used to take her several hours of agonizing manual labor now takes mere minutes of review time on a Monday morning. But look at that second row down there, the 6 monthly reports. Those used to consume 4 to 5 entire days of her work life. That is almost a full working week dedicated purely to gathering and formatting data. Now, reduced to minutes. She essentially got a whole week of her life back. That is a massive paradigm shift in how she's able to allocate her energy. And, this wasn't solely about speed either. Tedious translations from her native language to English, handled. Rigid formatting into the predefined structure, handled. Finding and compiling the sources, completely handled. But notice the real kicker here. The report quality actually improved. By offloading those robotic, totally draining tasks to the AI sandbox, she now has the mental energy to actually analyze the data rather than just process it. She is absolutely amazed by the output, and she loves knowing exactly what the system is doing behind the scenes. Section 5. The architects behind it. Diana, an AI safe lens. Now, you might be wondering how a self-professed AI skeptic managed to set up such a flawless, secure system in the first place. Well, she didn't do it alone. She worked with Diana, the founder of AI Safe Lens based down in Andalusia, Spain. Diana's professional mission is helping professionals adopt artificial intelligence carefully, practically, and completely free of the blinding industry hype. And her credentials, they are incredibly rigorous. She spans European Union compliance, specifically dealing with strict ISO 27001 and 9100 standards. She has deep practical experience working as an operations manager in a cybersecurity security operations center. On top of all that, she's an AI literacy educator and has spent over 20 years educating and examining critical thinking skills. She doesn't approach AI as some reckless tech evangelist. She approaches it as a security-minded educator deeply focused on human empowerment. So the crucial point is that a small, bounded, low-stakes workflow is exactly how trust and skill get built between a person and a new technology. You absolutely do not have to hand over everything to an algorithm on day one. By creating an isolated environment where you can inspect, test, and completely override the AI's output, you build a safe bridge to the future of work. You get to reap all the incredible benefits of automation without sacrificing your peace of mind. Which brings us to our final, provocative question for you to consider today. What small, low-stakes workflow could AI automate for you? Think about your own week for a second. What is that one repetitive, draining task that doesn't involve highly sensitive data? Could you set up your own digital sandbox? Could you reclaim hours or even days of your time while staying completely in the driver's seat? The blueprint is right there, proven by a skeptical professional who took the leap safely. Start small, stay contained, and let the technology work for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we will see you next time as we continue to unpack the fascinating systems shaping our world.